Okay, what happened?
I don't know. We're not.
Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of the Professor's Picks, alongside, of course, the professor himself, Mr. Ken Golden. That was kind of weird. I pushed the record button and it just spun around and didn't do anything. I was like, what's going on here?
We're here. So,
We're here. We are here. We were just waiting. We're like waiting for my computer to do its little dance here. So anyway, it's Friday afternoon as always, and Ken's got a whole bunch of things to talk about. So without further ado, let me turn it over to the man himself.
yeah, it's a crazy busy week. All kinds of stuff just dropped. Some of it showed up this morning. So, Peter, I may need your help on some of these. So, because they're like so fresh, I haven't listened to them. I haven't. So, let me start. There's no pre-orders this week. No new pre-orders. So, I'm going to get right into the new CD releases. First thing we got, new one from Al Storm, Pirate Metal. This is an EP, Voyage of the Dead Marauder. Not my thing, but very popular.
Yeah, they don't do it for me either, but yeah, people love them. Hey, whatever.
And the prog power crowd goes, yeah, exactly. Prog power crowd goes nuts for it. This one I got in on your recommendation. Big Scenic Nowhere.
Yeah.
So I only made one quick pass through it, and I liked it. Bob Bouch from Fu Manchu and a couple of guys from Yawning Man. I mean, for me, I describe it as, I throw it into that stoner rock category. Is that, you know, um,
Very psychedelic, great guitar soloing. Yeah, it's a little Pink Floydian spots, and the bass player is from Moss Generator, so it's like a who's who of people. And you got Per Weiberg plays
yeah.
keyboards for tracks from
But
Opeth.
why do they do Sarah Smile?
I don't know. I don't know. They got Elliot from Hall and Oates' band plays on it, and it's a nice rendition of Sarah Smile, but it sounds exactly like the original.
Yeah, so
I
why would
would have liked them to do like a kind of cool psychedelic stoner version of it, and it's really not. It's just the same old, same old. It's well
kind of
done.
weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. But like I said, I there's so much new stuff this week. A lot of these I just haven't had time to dig into. All right, we'll go back to the metal world for a moment. Cathubodua, Interbellum. They're a Belgian symphonic power metal band with a female singer. I mean, years ago, I used to call anything with a female singer, gothic metal, but that's not really the case anymore.
Yeah.
Now a lot of these, power metal bands are using, working with female vocalists as opposed to like the After Forevers and Epicas, which really were like gothic metal. So, but this is fairly. I think this is their first release. Next one, back into the prog world. I'm going alphabetically. Teddy Lassery, equal MC squared. I'm pretty sure this is the first time this has ever been on CD. Made in Germany, put this out. So Teddy Lassery, keyboard player. He was with Magma, and Yannick Top plays on this. Andre Ciccarelli, I think, plays on a track. It's primarily more of like an electronic album, but it's actually a really good electronic album. I don't remember what year. It might have been 70, I'm guessing 77, 76, something like that. So, but that's a good one. More metal, Leaves Eyes, Mists of Fate. This is the 2 CD expanded version. Uh, they're on their second vocalist. Liv Christine was the original vocalist. And I guess like a Nightwish fan, I guess, kind of like a also folk element to what they do.
I've always thought they were kind of like Nightwish light.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to my knowledge, any of the albums since Liv left the band. And I
You
know
know,
the ones with her were pretty good. So, but
of all those bands, Nightwish to me was by far the most interesting. You know, they were especially like I like when Tarja was in the band. I remember seeing them play, and they were kind of cool. But and then they had Troy Donackley joined and had that kind of Celtic influence creeping in. There was some variety to their music, and I particularly like Imaginarium. Anyway, I digress. Another one I need your help with because again I sold their previous album. We may still have copies of their old one, Mr. Bison, Echoes
oh,
from the Universe. You said
really good.
you said
Yeah.
get it, so I got it.
Yeah, it's really good. I in my review I said anybody who likes the more recent Elder albums would probably really dig it a lot. It's they're known as more of like a psychedelic stoner rock band, but I hear tons of prog on this album. I hear a little bit to Yes, and there's little bits of like Yawning Man, and just good riffs, lots of nice little keys, nice solos. The vocals are really well done. It's kind of spacey in spots too. Really good. I think anybody watching this would really dig those guys. So definitely go check it out. I would recommend that highly.
Nice cover.
Yeah, yeah. It's
So
a good
Italian
part.
band. I believe they're Italian.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
All right. Next one has been on order for a long time. Just showed up about an hour or so ago. This is, you can hold it up. You can see it backwards. Nice big box. This is a 3 CD set put out by RER, Chris Cutler's label. It's Musica Urbana, Filou y Juan Albert, and Trio Alicent. So Musica Urbana is a great Latin jazz rock band. 1976, I think it is. I'm doing this from memory. They made 2 albums, and Juan Albert Margos is the keyboard player. And I don't want to say it's like Returns Forever or something like that, but you hear elements of that, and it has a definite it's Latin jazz rock, and it's very, very good. It's funny, their second album had a bit more fire to it and a little more like straight ahead, like RTF kind of a thing. But apparently, Chris Cutler doesn't like the album, so he didn't include it in the set. So, but what else is here is so anyway, it's a fine Latin jazz rock album, really good. And the next album in the set, Filou y Juan Albert. So that is Juan Albert Margos. He's basically playing acoustic piano, electric piano. He's on Fender Rhodes. There's some Moog on there, and it's him paired with Filou Gasul, who is a classical Spanish guitarist. So it's flamenco guitar and keyboards, and that might sound kind of boring, but it's really, really not. It's a beautiful record. It's the recording is great. Like it's one of those albums, man. You hear the room, so like you turn off the lights and you're in this space with them. It's just very, very classy. There's a lot of improvisation. It's melodic. It's just a record you just really get lost in, and it's one of the greats. That was like 1978. Just great, great record. It's a classic, and it just doesn't sound like it's going to be something interesting, but it's brilliant. And the third album in the box set is called Trio Alicent, and that is something I'm looking because it's unreleased material by the two of them, and I don't know who Corta Delas is, but whoever Corta Delas is, he's playing with Juan Albert and Filou Gasul. So it's previously unreleased. So it's a 3 CD box set in I guess you call this like a clamshell.
That
It's
show.
yeah, and I think there's a booklet. All right, moving on. So this just showed up this morning. I'm unbelievably excited about this. So far, I'm going out on a limb. I'm telling you, Pete, you could all yell at me. So far, this is going to be my album of the year. Nata Raja, Spirit of Play. So Andy Edwards, drummer Andy Edwards, YouTube star Andy Edwards, right? Former Robert Plant and IQ drummer Andy Edwards had sent this to me. He sent me like a video. He said, like, what do you think? And it just totally kicked my ass. So we've got the album, and what it is a quartet put together by Jack Jennings, who is a electric guitarist out of the UK. I think he's from Bristol, and he has an extensive training in Indian classical music and sitar. So this is a quartet, and it's Andy Edwards playing the drums. John Jowett, surprisingly, is the bass player. There is keyboards, and I don't remember the guy's name, and I apologize. and he is playing. He's doing a lot of like ambient textural stuff, um, some like drones, and it kind of fits with music. And this guy Jack Jennings, to until recently was completely unknown to me. This guy just blazes. His fingers just flying up and down the frets. It's a live recording. I think it's the first show they've done, and they've edited out the audience, so you don't hear them. It's unbelievable. It's like Hendrix, if Jimi Hendrix was in the Mahavishnu Orchestra. I mean, like there's just all this tension, and it's all built around like Indian scales and stuff. So you really get that influence there. And the thing that excites me about it is it doesn't sound like anything else I've heard or anything else I've heard recently. And for me, that's exciting. So it's really, really well done. And like I said, everybody's just like killing on this thing. And there's some tracks which long, like 15-minute pieces, where it's kind of mellow. But if you really listen to what he's playing, there's all this unbelievably intricate electric guitar. I think it's great. So there you go.
I'm looking forward to hearing. I only just heard the one song, and I really like that a lot.
If you go on YouTube, there are a couple of videos out there, and if you check my listing on the site, you'll see we embedded one of the YouTube videos. Great stuff. Next thing, Porcupine Tree Closure Continuation Live. This has been on pre-order forever, and they kept bumping the street date. It came out last year, but it didn't go into distribution. Then they finally decided to put it into distribution, and they kept screwing around with the street date. We have them now. So it is Live Porcupine Tree. This is the 2 CD, 2 Blu-ray edition, and the thing is huge.
Jeez.
Yeah, actually, this is the vinyl edition, which I'll get to, but it's same thing, same packaging. Thing is pain in the ass to pack. Please buy them so I can sell out of them and not have to deal with it
anymore. Ever again.
Never again. Yeah. All right. Next, Present. This is the final album from Present. Roger Trudeau is on here, and I know Steve just put this out recently. If you're a fan of RIO, really dark progressive, Present is your ticket. It's Dave Kerman's playing drums on here. And it's good dark prog. Next one. This one, I love this one. I don't know if you have this one. This is incredible. This is one of the great, let me put this down. This is one of the great German jazz rock albums from the 70s. Came out in 1978. I just call them PSI. Could be Psy, I'm not sure. One and done band, quintet, and led by the keyboard player Matthias Fry, and the guitar player is a guy named Volkmar Zimmerman. I don't know if he ever did anything else. There's also a sax player who's adding some color, but it's all about the guitar and the keyboards. And it's, if you like Mrs. Beasley, Kron, things like that, this one is just pure fire, just really extraordinary. And yeah, the Germans had a thing like in the late 70s going into the 80s, man, they went like fusion crazy. They really did. And there's a lot of these like one and done bands, and these guys were about as good as it got. So clearly one of the best. So great. Next one is very obscure. Requiem. The name of the album is Steven. Late 70s German progressive hard rock. I kind of describe them, the best way I could describe them, it's kind of like Jane. Again, a one and done. I believe it's a concept album. And it was just like one of those albums that's been on my radar for a long time. Didn't really know anything about it. It turned up on a list of like, oh, this thing exists on CD. What the hell? I'll bring some copies in. So, but yeah, if you like, like I said, it's definitely progressive, but it's also hard rock. Jane is probably like my closest comparison.
Jane's a really good band.
Yeah. So, all right, this is one that just showed up. Don't know much about it other than it's on Cruz del Sur. Stiggy and Crown, Music for a King. Los Angeles-based doom metal with a female singer. That's all I know. You know anything? You ever hear of this, guys?
No, but Cruz del Sur always puts out quality stuff, so I'm sure it's really good.
Okay. Next one, really good prog metal. I believe these guys are Norwegian. They're called Vicinity, and this album is 8. I guess number 8. I don't know if it's their 8th album. I don't think so, but maybe. But very, very good melodic prog metal, kind of like along the lines of like a Circus Maximus, something like that. It's quite good. And
one of my writers just submitted a review to me for that, and he loved it.
Yeah, I'm gonna warn everybody. It's pricey. I don't know why. I don't know why some labels price out their product the way they do. Even just to go on a tangent for a second, even like Charisma and Apollon, certain titles in their catalog for some reason are significantly more expensive than others. Why? The distributor can't explain it. I don't ask the label. It is. This particular label, Uprising, it's I believe a German label. It's a relatively new German label. Stuff's expensive, so they don't have U.S. distribution. So guys, when you see the price, don't blame me. It is what it is. It's good stuff. Next one, Virgo, Four Seasons. A while back, I had another album by Virgo, German jazz rock band. This one was released on the Bacillus label, mid-70s, where I think Lutello was the last one that I sold, sort of like 78, 79. And that one had a lot of guitar in it. This one ain't that. This one doesn't have the guitar, but it has some great keyboard work. It's got a little bit more towards the jazz side of jazz rock, but it is a jazz rock album, and it's a fine one. So I recommend that. Next thing. I'm out of order here. The Who. I don't know if I remember my tale of woe about the Who's next Lifehouse Sessions box sets that arrived damaged. Well, they replaced them, so now I have a small quantity of them. They're really good price. So and they're in mailers, so you want it, I got it, and it should get to you in one piece. Gonna jump back. Let's see. I have 2 albums by Phi Yan Zach. We talked about him the other day, right? I've got 2 albums by him. This one's the newest, Interdimensional Garden Party, and previous one called Reality is My Plaything, which is a double. So he's I guess he's British. He's a multi-instrumentalist, and he put together these albums. They're really kind of crazy. Everybody on the planet plays on this thing. He's got Mike Keneally, Brian Beller, Marco Miniman, Lolly Larson. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And all I can tell you is, if you like Frank Zappa, you're gonna like these albums, because I mean, these really sound like Zappa. And I don't know if he's doing all the lead work or if Keneally, but man, there's some blazing guitar on these records. So it's pretty cool stuff. So,
I've never heard those 2, but I've heard a couple of his earlier ones from when he's back, and yeah, it's very, very Zappa influenced and pretty fun stuff.
Yeah, this is the newest one. This is Interdimensional Garden Party, and this is the 2018 one, I believe. Oh, Reality is My Plaything. That's a double. Okay, next thing we go finishing out the CDs. The new one from Zombie, Steve Moore and AJ Patera, 2-man band, been around for a long time. Instrumental. You'll like Goblin. You'll like Zombie, and keyboards and drums, and they also get into some spacey stuff as well. So, a classy band. They're on Relapse. I would find interesting. All right, I'm gonna just click through some restocks, some important restocks. Finally got back Big Train. This is the standard version of Big Train. This has been out of stock for a while. Chronicles of Father Robin, Songs and Tales of Aero, Part 3. We finally got back. This one came and went. I don't know if many people even realize we had this. Led Zeppelin, Charlotte 1972 from 2 CD set, great quality. Pink Floyd, Atomic Saucers. Pink Floyd, The Boston Breakout. I know you like both of those, right?
Yep, yep.
Those are back in stock. Turbulence, Binary Dream, really good Lebanese prog metal band. And now vinyl. Eloy, Destination, made in Germany, did this. This is one of the later Eloy albums. Not a bad one. So I don't think it's ever been on vinyl. This is, I think, the first time on vinyl. In the gray area, John McLaughlin and Larry Coryell. They're accompanied by Christian Escud. So it's you get duos and trios. Live Under the Sky, 1980, and it's supposed to be a radio broadcast. You'd always take that with a grain of salt. But I assume it probably is a radio broadcast. I couldn't imagine somebody sitting in the audience with a pair of microphones, but you never know.
You know,
I used to do it, so a lot of people
exactly.
As I just showed, the Porcupine Tree, and I believe it is on clear vinyl, crystal vinyl, I think. 2 more vinyl, and then out of people's out of their hair. Weltram, the Space Jam Sessions, Volume 1, crystal vinyl. This is a German space rock improv session led by Axe Skynyrk, the former guitarist of Goo Goo Guru.
Oh, wow.
And from what I understand, there is no CD version of it. This is on that Tanzanin label, which puts out some pretty good stuff. And then last but not least, we have Zombie Direct Inject, also on vinyl. And that's what I got. So it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's a heavy hitters there today. So
And we have a lot of cool stuff coming from the UK. So next week we should have a lot of stuff. And finally some more cheap shit, some cool cheap shit. We'll have the new Hawkwind next week. We'll have that Coliseum set that I had talked about. All kinds of things coming in. FedEx has to be good to us, so I'm just kind of waiting on a shipment. It's a transfer.
but you feel like every time you say we have the new Hawkwind, you know that in a couple months you're gonna have to say it again.
Yeah, it's true. How old is he? He's like Dave Brock is what, 80?
I think he's 80 or 81. Yeah.
He's not slowing down at all.
No, makes me dizzy, man. It's like every time I'm like, oh, cool, new Hawkwind. You barely have time to listen to that one before the next one's coming out.
Yeah. So it's a lot of stuff, and a lot of it just showed up at the last minute, so I couldn't dive in like I would hope to, but you guys can.
Yeah,
So
that's what it's all about, right?
yeah, so there's descriptions for everything, and these days, you go out on the web, you could find this stuff to listen to.
Yeah, that's a thing. So lasercd.com, of course, is the URL. I'll have that pinned down in the post below, along with the list of everything that Ken showed and talked about today. So for those of you who like to go do the copy paste thing, we got you covered. That'll be down below. And remember, when you go over to lasercd.com,
Please buy a lot, buy often.
there you go. Buy often. New stuff coming in every day. So tune in next week for some more. And what do we got coming up here on the channel this weekend? We got, of course, Stephen and Simon will be joining me tomorrow on the UK Connection. That's happening tomorrow. We're going to be talking about some favorite bands that fall outside the SOT paradigm. Right. So a little discussion about some bands that we will never talk about here on the channel, but we kind of like. So that's coming up tomorrow. And then on Sunday, Grant Arthur's coming in and we will be ranking the albums of Badfinger. So lots happening over the next couple days. So don't miss out on any of it. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell to get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. LaserCD.com. Go visit Ken, and we'll see you back here on the Professor's Picks next week. For Ken Golden, I'm Pete Pardo. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Take care.